Good day, class. My name is Joey Williamson, and today we shall be looking at firebase authentication. So let's get right into it. So, in today's topic, we're going to create a new user on Firebase, store user data to Firebase, and display user data from the Firebase. This is our objective. So, first thing we're going to do, we're going to get the template from WG Layouts. We're going to download Visual Studio Code and set up Firebase. We're going to, while setting up Firebase, we're going to create a project, set up authentication. So that we're going to set up Visual Studio Code, connect the backend to the front end, and test the sign up form. So let's get into it. So let's first get the templates. So the first thing we want to do is get our template. You can download a template from WG Layout or CodePen or wherever. Next thing we want to do is get our HTML editor. We're going to be using Visual Studio Code. Next thing we want to use is Firebase. Basically, everyone have a Firebase account once you have a Gmail account. So let's get into it. So let's create a project, call it emails, continue, and check this box, create project. This may take a while. You can continue. So this is what our actually Firebase look like when we finish signing up. The first thing you want to do is click on authentication. We're going to enable the sign-in method. We're going to enable the email and password sign-in method. We can enable, save. Next thing we want to do is set up our database. We're going to use the actually latest version of the database, Firestore. Create database, test mode for developing. Next, we can disregard this for now. Choose our location, will be the US. Done. After creating a database, the next thing we want to do is actually install our live server to Visual Studio Code. So you actually go right here, type in live server, install. What live server does actually help us to connect to our database live while developing our project. The next thing I want to show you guys actually how next thing I want to show you guys is my template. So this is actually my template, and this is using a form. So we're going to pass by reference using a form. So we're going to pass using the ID right here. We're going to actually pass the value of the first name using the ID, also in the last name, email, the password. Also, this button right here, I'm going to click on this button. It's supposed to pass all these values to our JavaScript function, which will be auth. You should always call a function after you have placed your configuration to connect to your database. So this is basically what's taking place here is actually how we connect into our database after creating an application and Firestore. So for now, I just want you guys to just copy this section, this section into your project, and also I want you guys to actually type this section into your project and their function right here. So I'm going to show you now how to actually get your own configuration from your Firebase because everyone's configuration is different. So let's go back to Firebase. As you can see, our database was created. So let's go back to project overview. Then click on web application. We're going to give our application a name, sign up, register application. And this is actually what I want you to copy and paste. So you're going to copy this section alone and paste it. And I want you to paste it right here. So after this has been pasted, we're going to call our auth function and pass the value to the auth function. So let's go to the auth function. So over here, after we call the function, we can see that we have a variable called sign up form. So this very sign up form is actually able to query the form actually, and it would find the form by using the ID. So after that, we're going to use the event listener to submit those values also And then we're going to use the prevent default to prevent page from refreshing after the value of being submitted. The next thing we want to do is to pass those value by reference using the text ID. So we're going to pass the email and the password. After we pass the email and the password, we're going to use the authentication reference that we use to reference the authentication library in the firebase to get this function called create user with email and password. After we get those, we're going to pass email and password to this function, and this will actually create a new user and firebase. We then use the then function to also add some more function to the after creating the user. What we want to do is actually to use the DB reference to the file store to create a collection called users. And then the documents that was created, we want to store those documents using the user UID that was just created. After we save a collection called users, we're gonna pass the first name and last name, and these actually be the feeds of the database, and we're gonna pass the values from the form to this database and store it there. Next thing we want to do is actually to load the index page after everything has been signed in successfully. And after that, we also want to reset the form. So after everything has been saved, this function will be called. After that, this we will use the DB again by reference to collect from users a snapshot, and that snapshot will then be converted and passed in a function called choose name, right? So the choose name function will actually be called index.js over here. After the choose name, we'll actually receive the value, the documents from the snapshot, and after that, we're going to store those data into name, and after that, we're going to use the name variable to actually specify what we want from the database. So we want the first name and the last name. So these are actually the fields inside the database. After that, we're going to append this information to the index HTML. Let me show you what's taking place right here. So we're going to append a list tag right here inside the UL tag, and we will actually know where to pass the list tag is actually going to use this class right here. As you can see, the class was referenced over here in index.js right here. Okay, so that's how we know where to pass the list tag. And that's basically it. So let's now test our application. Right click, open live server. Open with live server. And click on sign up. Okay, then as you can see, I've been logged in. So right up here, this is where the name will be displayed, right? Jones Summit. Let me actually show you what is taking place on the backend. So this is what is taking place on the backend, right? So we have created a new user, and also we have created a new collection in the database. As you can see, user, the same ID was created. I'll show you. So we have C13. Okay, let's look at this one, A2JR. A2JR, so the same ID was used, and you can see the first and last name, John. So that's it. And I'll be leaving a short quiz in the description. You can also find the links towards how to set up your Visual Studio and WG layout and such forth. Have a good day.